What is up, guys? Tentative Man here. I'm bringing another battle. This was a crazy Yu-Yu game that I had with a good friend of mine, and if you can't tell, he's got a KOFFING in there. Yeah, an EV-like KOFFING, and believe it or not, that thing actually gave me a crap ton of trouble. And yeah, because if you look at my team, I have a pretty well-balanced team here. It's just that I really didn't have anything to break it straight off. So, but anyway, without further ado, let's get this battle started. And so we actually both make the approach to lead off of our Scarfers. I'm going to lead off of my Victini, and he's going to lead off of his Flygon. So I don't really know what to expect. Probably the Earthquake or U-turn. I'm going to switch out and go into my Crobat, because both of those situations, Crobat can easily take a U-turn and it resists the U-turn. So he does go and end up going for the Earthquake, which is great. Crobat gets no damage on it. He's going to withdraw his Flygon and goes into his Xatu. And I try to taunt on the switch, and I forget it gets bounced back by Magic Bounce, which sucks. So he's able to Magic Bounce that back. He's able to taunt me, which really doesn't matter because the only other supportive move I have is Roost. So Crobat's not overly hindered by it. But I'm just going to take this opportunity to U-turn out because I really can't do much else. You kind of fear he has Psychic. Most Zatus don't carry Psychic. They usually carry U-turn themselves. But here I go into my Porygon 2, because Porygon 2 can actually decently do stuff. So I'm going to get the download, and I was surprised not to get the special attack boost, because most are physically defensive, but I'm kind of glad I went into Porygon 2 here, because he went for the T-Wave. I'd rather have that T-Wave than that Victini or anything, so that's that, and this Dodge is going to prove to be a little bit of a problem, just because I can't easily break it. And here he's going to withdraw Xatu, and I believe he goes into a Suicune here. And Suicune is a major problem, because Suicune's bulky. I really don't have any easy way to beat it other than Shaman. So I do go for the Discharge, and I don't know if he was anticipating that. This is actually an offensive Eviolite P2. It does a fairly decent chunk to it. Unfortunately, do not get the Parahacks, which sucks. But, again, not much I can do about it. Now I'm going to switch out anticipating either him to Scald or Calm Mind, and I go into my Shaman because I can directly threaten that out. So now comes to Shaman, and he is going to go for the Scald. I guess either he wanted to get some damage off on Shaman, or potentially just burn my Shaman, because even though I have Natural Cure, and even though I have Rest, its burn still kind of hinders Shaman to an extent. So, but he is going to withdraw. I do predict a switch here, and he goes into a Xatu, and I actually go for the HP Ice, which is amazing, and even though it's the Life Orb boosted HP Ice, it still doesn't do an incredible amount to the Xatu. It does maybe 50%. It's probably a little less than that. I can't really tell from that, but it was probably around 45-50%, which is decent. And I don't know if we can take another one. I'm going to go for it again because I want to get the Xatu dead. And luckily for me, he actually brings out the Flygon. So that's amazing, pretty much. I'm able to go for a second HP Ice, and down goes that Flygon, pretty much, because it's not taking a Life Orb boosted Hidden Power Ice. So GG Flygon, and yeah, Shaman just unleashing hell on everything. So down goes that Flygon, and I will warn you guys straight out, this is actually quite a long battle, because I just wasn't able to break this stuff easy on. And out comes the Darmanitan. I really have nothing much to take a Flare Blitz. Swampert's probably my best bet to take it, since it's a more physically defensive Swampert. And he actually goes for the Flare Blitz. So I don't know if he anticipated my Swampert to come in or my Hitmontop, but that Flare Blitz does a really, really hefty chunk to me. And, anticipating this thing to be Scarf. But, and, since most Darmanitans are Scarf and stuff, so. But here he's going to withdraw, and I believe he goes into a Xatu. I actually predict the switch, anticipating him to predict the Earthquake. I go for the Ice Beam, and this is actually, the standard defensive Swampert in OU. I use it for UU now, but it doesn't kill, but I get the Freeze. And that is huge, 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 huge. It mattered so much because he could have easily roosted the next turn, and yeah, I would have not had an easy time beating that from then on out. So that's Xatu frozen. Oh my goodness, that's a huge roadblock on. Down goes that Xatu. So there's two Ice Weak Pokemon are now down, both Flygon and Xatu, and I'm up 6-4 at this point. And But my biggest problem is I'm really gonna have difficulty bringing out defeating the rest of these Pokemon. Out comes the Suicune again. Swampert really can't do anything to it. I don't want to take an opportunity to set up Stealth Rock because I can't have this thing keep Calm Minding up in my face. I gotta force it out. I go into my Shaman, and I believe this time around he goes for the Calm Mind. Yes, he does. And I'm very unconfident, that Sea Flare's going to outright kill in one shot, especially after a Calm Mind boost. So that stinks. And, Suicune is such a bully, such a pain in the butt to beat. But he actually does end up switching out here, and he goes into his Raikou. And I could have gone for the Earth Power, but I just wanted to be safe and go for the Sea Flare this turn. And I don't know why my screen's getting all bright, but it is. Stop being so bright. Stop being so bright. But yeah, they hit with the Sea Flare, and that Sea Flare does a really hefty chunk to that Raikou. Holy cow, that was a lot. But and here I don't want to take anything, so I'm going to switch out and go into I believe my Swampert here, because I'm immune to Thunderbolt. I really don't care if he has HP Ice, and that's what I assume he's going for here. I was kind of scared to get HP Grass, but I really doubted it. There's not many things in there are some things in Yu-Gi-Oh! that don't appreciate HP Grass, like Rhyperior, but I was pretty confident he had the HP Ice. So next to nothing from an HP Ice, he's going to withdraw the Raikou, and I believe he goes back into that Suicune. I believe I just go for the Earthquake here, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe that's true. Yes, I do. And since I'm not really packing any physical, attack investment, that doesn't really do anything to it, which really puts me in a tight situation. I've really got to start playing well here. So, boy. This is actually a 50-turn battle, surprisingly. And, yeah, this is going to take a while, folks. I'm only at 15. So, out comes the Darmanitan again, I guess, and he predicted my switch very nicely here. I really, really should have anticipated the double switch. But, unfortunately, that was not the case. I'm going to bring out Shaman again, and now something on my team is going to take a Flare Blitz. And I've got to really choose what it is. I really don't want to take... I really don't want Swampert to take any more damage, so I'm going to go into my Hitmontop, anticipating, to take a... Flare Blitz better. And, at this point, I'm really getting to that point where I'm assuming that this thing is not Scarfed, but Banded, because this Flare Blitz does so much damage. Oh my god. And, I really wasn't sure what to do here. I mean, I was kind of just left in Hitmontop for Death Otter, because he doesn't have any hazards up, and Hitmontop's pretty useless other than that. And he brings out a Pokemon that completely walls my Hitmontop, which being his Koffing. And yeah, I'm kind of stuck here. I really don't know what to do, but I'm going to switch out my Hitmontop and go into a Pokemon that pretty much walls Koffing for the most part, unless it has Will-O-Wisp. I was kind of scared this was a very risky switch, but he actually shows me he is Toxic. I don't think he has Will-O-Wisp on this Koffing, and he really should have Will-O-Wisp on that thing. Be a little bit more efficient, but knowing he can't do anything to Crobat, he's going to switch out back to a Suicune, and I'm going to taunt him on the switch, knowing that I can now easily taunt for free. Get that taunt off, now he can't rest, he can't Calm Mind, and yeah, he can't do anything of the sort, which is great. But Crobat at the same time can't do anything to Suicune, so I've got a U-turn and do minuscule damage and switch out. I mean, I don't actually have max speed on this Crobat. It's like 200 something, it might be 180 something, and I have some investment into attack, but not a lot. It is jolly, but here he goes for the Scald again, and now I'm a little less than half. He still hasn't gotten the burn yet, which is really surprising. I mean, he really didn't get almost any burns from Scald, which was crazy, but he's going to withdraw, and I believe he goes back into his Koffing here. Here I was anticipating either the Raikou or Darmanitan to come in, but unfortunately brings out the Koffing, which really sucks. And here I'm going to go for the rest because I'm anticipating him to try to get Toxic again. But, and I wasn't sure if this Koffing had Clear Smog, or these most supportive Koffings usually carry Clear Smog. That's how it is in Little Cup anyway. But he actually has the Sludge Bomb, and I don't know his investments, but that Sludge Bomb does a pretty decent chunk to my Shaman. So I'm guessing he has no investment into it, but still did a fairly decent chunk. This Sludge Bomb's a pretty powerful move in general, and it stabs. So I'm going to bring out my Porygon 2 here, considering the fact that it pretty much walls Koffing, and we have a special attack boost, but he actually double switches, and that puts me in a tight situation, and out comes the Raikou. And I'm like, well, crap. And, you know, I really don't want to switch out. I don't really want anything taking an Aura Sphere, so I've got to stay in pretty much. And I just got to let Porygon 2 take the hit. And even though I don't have max defenses or anything, I will be able to take that Aura Sphere, a decent amount of damage. I don't know if he's Specs or if he's Scarfed, but, you know, I don't see any Life Orb recoil, so he's not that. And I'm looking for the Tri-Attack, and that's easily going to finish off the Raikou. So, we're 10 minutes in, about halfway through this battle, and out comes the Darmanitan again. At this point, I'm pretty much just going to leave Porygon 2 in this Death Fodder. I don't want anything else to take a move. So I've got to leave in Porygon 2 to die here, unfortunately. So down goes my Porygon 2. He gets a useless crit, and yeah, I don't know what to do here. So assuming Scarf, I really should have played a little smarter, because I should have figured that thing was not Scarfed. But here, you know, I'm going to go for the Fusion Bolt. I outspeed. I was hoping this would do a decent chunk, or at least kill, because Darmanitan doesn't have the greatest HP, or greatest defenses, has good HP. But here he shows Earthquake, and I'm like, no, he's Life Orb. God damn it. Does not kill my Victini. Luckily, he doesn't have any hazards, so I can keep preserving my Victini for later if I need to. But he's going to switch out the Darmanitan, and he's going to go back into that Koffing. So I believe I just stay and go for another Fusion Bolt, because I was hopefully anticipating the Suicune to come in, so I can get some decent damage on that, you know, upon the switch in. And look at how much that Fusion Bolt does. Nothing to that Koffing. Obviously a max HP, max defensive one of Eviolite. Back out into my Crobat because it's Walls Koffing. He's going to go for a Sludge Bomb, trying to finish off my Victini. It's not going to do anything to my Crobat, which is great. Get some leftovers going. And, you know, you usually see most Crobats being banded, but, you know, Wall Breaker Crobat is very, very efficient. It's almost as good as Wall Breaker Mew. You know, that carries usually Will-O-Wisp, Roost, and Taunt. Here I taunt him, and he actually goes for a Pain Split here, which is interesting. And here I'm anticipating him to switch out. I don't believe I go for U-turn here. I actually kind of expected Darmanitan to come in. And I don't know if he wanted to go into, like, Death Fodder or something. I think he anticipated the U-turn there, so we can get switch initiative, but nope, I'm going to say, screw you, Brave Bird. There you go. Down it goes. And, yeah. And I believe he's down to his last two, which are Koffing and Suicune. But I, again, had a lot of trouble. It's actually 20 turns of pure trying to prevent him from setting up. And Suicune has the raw power just to completely sweep through my team. I have to take every opportunity not to let it set up or anything, and he actually goes for Rest here, which kind of surprised me, caught me off guard a bit. But, you know, I've got a U-turn, you know, he's taunted, I can easily take a hit or two, and, yep, gonna switch out. I believe Shaman comes out again, because Shaman, you know, can take Scalds all day, and out it comes. And here comes the Scald, and I can't remember what happens here. I believe at some point, it's not here, but it happens later on. I kind of rage a bit, but you know, he's pretty much saying GG at this point, because he really can't break through my Pokemon that easily. I mean, because, you know, Shaman's pretty much walling everything, but unfortunately my C-Flare misses the Koffing on the switch, and that would have done a fairly decent chunk to it. Especially if I got in the special defense group, we probably could have 2-hit KO'd that Koffing. Unfortunately, I get the freaking miss, which really sucks. You know, he's just going to Sludge Bomb my Crobat, because, you know, I don't want Shaman dying just yet, because it's kind of necessary to beat that Suicune. And, you know, Crobat is just trolling everybody here. So, because Crobat is my biggest FU to these last few members, I just can't defeat them. That's my problem with Crobat. So, and here I believe I get, again, taunt, because this is basically a switch bait and just taunting everything, because I can't let them set up. So, because Koffing can Pain Split, it can get more HP back, and I don't want it doing that, and I don't want Suicune resting or Calm Minding. So, I'm in a very precarious situation, and, you know, it's going to take quite a while to break these walls. You know, both are physical walls, which means Victini can't do much. And the only thing I really have for it is Shaman, and my other especially special attacker is already down, my Porygon 2. So I've got to play it safe. I've got to be careful. So here he goes for the Scald. And what happens here is this. That's it. He gets the crit, and I believe he gets the burn. No, that's not the... Oh, was it? Oh, I couldn't remember, but, I guess I thought he got the burn at some point. Shoot, but, here I go for the rest. Because, you know, rest is awesome, but he did get a crit on that skull, which sucks. But, I couldn't remember if it was that turn or not, but I will spoil it. He does get a crit burn on my Shaman, and that really pissed me off. But to be honest, what he was due for it, just because he didn't get skull burns at all throughout this match. But 13 more turns to go. Whew, my God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry this is such a long game, but it was good, and I just wanted to, you know, I'm trying to showing off my prediction skills a little bit here, and you know, kind of how efficient this team works. It's just got to be careful. Suicune's, I mean, Shaman's the whole reason I you know, put it on this team is because of Suicune. And now he's able to get a Calm Mind up, and that's not good. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of screwed. I get one Calm Mind up, and I just don't know what to do. I've got to taunt him here. I really don't have a choice. I've got to prevent him from Calm Minding it up anymore, because if he does, I'm screwed. So he does predict that taunt nicely, and he goes for the Scald. I'm praying he doesn't get the burn, and again, he does not get that burn, which is really unfortunate, you know. But, and actually, if he did get that burn, I would have been screwed, because shit happens. I will say that. But, yep, I'm going to have kind of forced a U-turn here. Got to switch out. And, you know, I've been doing the same thing I've been doing all game, going into Shaman to absorb those skulls. Don't really have much of a choice. So, out comes Shaman again. And I think this is the turn where he crit burns me, if I'm not mistaken. So, and, you know, this is basically turning into a... Oh, no, it's not. What? Oh, I can't remember. I'm so sorry, guys. Not that I'm professional anyway, but, yeah, I'm sorry I'm doing that. But, here I go for the C player. I missed again. Are you kidding me, game? Oh, my God. But, is this it? I know at some point he gets it. And, oh, there's the burn. I think that's what pissed me off. It wasn't a crit burn. I thought it was a crit burn. I couldn't remember. But, that bugged me, that C flare miss, and then he gets the skull burn. So, here's the problem. His taunt wears off, so I really can't rest here. I've got to try to do damage on him. So I'll go for the C flare, thank God it hits. And because if I rested, the problem would have been he could have continually set up Calm Minds, and I just cannot let that happen. That was the problem there. I do get a big special defense drop. Doesn't really matter, especially when the machine's about to die to a Scald anyway. So, that sucks, to be perfectly honest. And I believe that Scald takes... Oh, no, it doesn't take me out. The burn does. But I'm really... I just don't know what to do at this point. I've really got to play well. I believe here I go into my Victini after Shaman dies. And, you know, I'm hoping and praying that Fusion Bolt will kill from this range. Because I am adamant. I'm an adamant Scarfer. But here he withdraws. To be honest, I really should have seen that coming. I probably should have gone for the Zen Headbutt here. But I do go for a Fusion Bolt. And, yeah, it doesn't do anything to that Koffing, which really freaking sucks. I don't think Zen Headbutt, to be honest, would have done much either. Even though it is stab super effective, it probably would have done barely a quarter to it. But here's something I've been doing all game, you know, switching to, you know, he brings in Koffing, bringing the biggest step to I can do it, which is Crobat. And yeah, Crobat was the MVP in this game. That's for pretty damn sure, because Crobat was the wall breaker. It did almost everything right. Here I'm going to go for the Braver just to do some damage. Does a decent chunk to Koffing, and he's just going to keep Sludge Bombing, because at this point, it's kind of pointless for him to Pain Split, because I'm getting low on HP. I could Roost at any point. The problem is I don't want him restoring any more HP. I do not want him to, you know, get back out of an HP. So here he's going to withdraw. I don't know if he's anticipating a Taunt or a Roost, but I'm going to say no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I want that Suicune dead. I don't want to give it an opportunity to rest. I've got to Brave Bird it. I've got to Brave Bird everything here. And that Brave Bird almost kills. I know another one will kill. At this point, I know I've got it, because no matter what he switches in, it's gonna be 2-hit KO'd. And in Suicune's case, it's gonna be O-code by Brave Bird. So again, he just leaves in Suicune to die. And down goes that Suicune finally to that Brave Bird. Crobat, you are a monster. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness gracious. That was like under wraps his entire ish, because, you know, for a while I thought I had it for sure. And then, you know, Shaman missing all its moves. And, ugh. But here I'm going to taunt him, you know, maybe anticipating a pain split because I'm at a decent amount of HP. And he actually, I don't know if he just gave up here or was anticipating a switch, but he tries to go for Toxic. But it's not going to help him here. He's going to go for, you know, 2 more Brave Birds. And, yeah, there's one. I think he just goes for the Sludge Bomb, trying to get some more additional damage. And I all of a sudden feel a wave of nausea. Why the hell am I nauseous? But, just burp. Excuse me. Sorry. But, there's the other Brave Bird. And, guys,